On a quiet night in Beverly Hills in 1989, two brothers walked into their parents' mansion, armed with shotguns. What happened next was something that would send shockwaves across America, one of the most brutal and mysterious family murders in modern history. But why did Lyle and Erik Menendez, who seemingly had everything, choose to kill? Today we dive into the chilling Menendez brothers case, a story of wealth, abuse, and unimaginable horror. But let's rewind for a moment, back to the beginning, before the bloodshed. To the perfect, idyllic life everyone thought the Menendez family had. Lyle and Erik Menendez were born into wealth. Their father, Jose Menendez, was an immigrant from Cuba who had worked his way up to become a wealthy entertainment executive. He married Kitty, a former beauty queen, and together they created the picture-perfect American dream. Or at least, that's what it looked like from the outside. Jose was strict, but in public, he appeared as a loving father who gave his sons everything. Lyle, the eldest, was confident and driven, while Erik was more reserved. Together, they were the pride of their parents. But behind closed doors, there were deep, unsettling secrets. The Menendez home was anything but a haven. According to Erik and Lyle, their father was a tyrant, a man who would stop at nothing to control every aspect of their lives. And soon, this control would take a much more sinister turn. August 20th, 1989. It was just like any other summer evening in Beverly Hills. Kitty and Jose Menendez sat together in their lavish living room, relaxing after a long day. What they didn't know was that their sons had other plans, a plan that would end both of their lives in unimaginable horror. Just after 10 p.m., Lyle and Erik entered the room. They weren't here to talk. In their hands, they held shotguns. Without warning, they opened fire, shooting their father first, then their mother. The brutality of the attack was chilling. Jose was shot point-blank in the back of the head, while Kitty was shot multiple times as she tried to run, including a final shot to her face. The house was silent again, but not for long. The brothers called 911, their voices frantic, claiming they had just discovered the scene. But were they truly devastated? Or was this all part of their calculated plan? In the months following the murders, instead of grieving, the brothers began spending. Lyle bought an expensive Rolex, a Porsche, and a restaurant. Erik hired a tennis coach and traveled to expensive tournaments. They spent over $700,000 in just a few months. While the police initially looked at the Menendez brothers as victims of a botched robbery, their spending spree raised serious red flags. The question was simple. Why were they spending their parents' fortunes so recklessly, so quickly, after their tragic deaths? For a while, the brothers maintained their innocence, but cracks in their story began to show. Erik, racked with guilt, eventually confessed to his psychologist that he and Lyle had killed their parents, and soon the police had enough to arrest them both. But during their trial, something shocking came to light. The brothers claimed they had not killed out of greed, but out of fear. Fear of years of horrific SA by their father. According to Erik, the abuse had started when he was just a young boy, and it continued for years, hidden behind the walls of their Beverly Hills mansion. Lyle claimed he too had suffered at the hands of their father, and when the brothers finally confronted Jose about the abuse, they believed their parents were going to kill them to keep the secret hidden. The trial became a media spectacle. It wasn't just a murder case anymore. It was a story about family secrets, control, and trauma. But were the brothers telling the truth? Or was this just a last-ditch effort to avoid prison? After months of testimony, the jury finally reached a decision. Both Lyle and Erik were convicted of first-degree murder. They were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. To this day, Lyle and Erik Menendez remain in prison, where they have spent more than 30 years. Their case still sparks debates. Were they cold-blooded killers, or victims pushed to the edge by unimaginable trauma? The Menendez case leaves us with many questions. Was justice served, or did a family's dark history finally explode into violence? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this one. Thank you for watching.